So hey guys, this is Addicted to Nature with a 2.5 week update on my newly planted aquarium. You can see that on the left I've removed the really big rock in my last video. I felt like it was blocking off a lot of light. I didn't really like the way I put it in the front. It was blocking off a lot of things and a lot of details, so I took it out. And if you guys can see, let's start with the good, okay? So I really like the way this rubble looks. You could see, if you guys look at the Dwarf Hairgrass here, you can see that they're sending out a lot of runners. The runners are actually up in the air right now. You can see the shoots and the roots up on the top here. Most of them you can see. A little bit in the middle and the back, you could see that they're also sending out some more runners. They're actually catching up a lot of the dead moss and the other floating plants. And it's probably time for a cleanup. Oh, there's my beta. I'm using it to cycle the tank and doing pretty well. You can see that some of the dwarf baby tears are melting, but the good thing is most of the plants are bouncing back. It's really good, doing well. Oh hey dude, what's up? And the ones on the right here haven't melted much, which is nice. You can see that this guy's actually doing pretty well. And I'm not sure why, but this place, even the hair grass is melting a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys, which is a problem because nowhere else in the tank is it melting. The dwarf hair grass is not looking too hot. Neither is the baby tears in the back here. That's weird. But let's take a look at the Java moss. So you could see that Java moss is kind of brown, but if I were to zoom in closer, you could see that it's actually sending out new green shoots as it adapts to my water parameters, which is great. That's what I want. None of the new green shoots was here about a week ago. So they're actually adapting now. That's nice. That's what I want to see. And pretty soon I'll have them growing out for me. The dragonstone looks amazing. Oh, there's my palm print on the glass here. Let's see if I can wipe that off. The anubias looks great. It's very green. It's growing as I expected, which is nice. Some more of the moss up here is going green. Well, it started off, it was green, and then it would turn brown, and now it's starting to turn green again, which is nice. If you look at the hair grass here, I've cut it short, sending out a little bit of runners. That's nice on the top. And you can actually see a little bit of baby tears on the bottom here where I planted them. That's always nice to see that they're doing well, not melted at all. Let's see, so you can see the hair grass on the left here. It's actually also sending out some more runners. That's nice. That's what we want to see. Because if it's sending out runners, that's good. If it's dying and melting, that's bad, obviously. Alright, so let me talk about the problems I've experienced with this. So originally the plan was to dry start this tank for about a month. But then I quickly realized that I was pretty much essentially baking my plants. I'm gone for work every single day for like the whole day, 8 hours. And then what I've noticed is every time I came home, I was doing maintenance on the tank, I would notice that my dwarf baby tears especially were melting. And so every time I stuck my hand in the tank, I realized that it was really roasting hot. It was like an oven. So I was baking my plants with the light on, and with the plastic wrap on the top of the tank. So I decided to flood my tank about a week afterwards, after I planted all these plants, and they've been doing so much better. Only a little bit has melted. I probably should have started with the wet method or just a regular start, and I shouldn't have done the dry start. So next time, or if you're watching this and you're doing research, unless you got a chiller or if your house is really cold, if it's in the winter, don't do this during the summer like I did. Don't do this during the fall, early fall like I did. It's temperature's still too hot for the dry start method. All right, the dragonstone looks great. And like I said in the other video, every time you adjust the light, it shows you a different sort of angle, right? And it shows a different sort of style. So See, this one looks so much more darker, more gloomy, more ominous. Whereas if I move the light forward a little bit, you can see the angles are moving towards the light, or the light angle is striking the surface of the rock in the front, and you can see a lot more detail here. It looks a lot cleaner. My beta is enjoying this 10-gallon tank. He's a koi beta I got. Really like the color. And okay, a little bit more. So, like I said, the baby tears were melting. I flooded it. That seemed to fix the problem. The water's pretty cold now. It's at a good 70-ish or so constant, which is nice. Let's see, so the light's actually doing pretty good. It's providing a lot of light for my plants that I like. One of the problems that I've realized in this particular setup is that I have a hang-on back filter. It's just the normal one you get at PetSmart, at Petco. It's the Aqueon 10. And so originally, this filter here, you could see that the water is going straight towards me because of how full I have the tank filled right now. And that's actually what I have to do for this tank, because if I were to keep the water level lower, the water ends up shooting straight down towards my rocks here. It starts to push the substrate forward. So it's sort of like it's, you know, have you ever like blown air at a dandelion and all the seeds gets blown away? It's sort of doing that with the water and the substrate, and my rocks start to shift. So I might have to think about a different way to do that. I have to keep the water going straight forward, otherwise it's going to destroy my aquascape. So that's a problem that I didn't foresee. And so another problem with that is because I have the water moving forward, it's not making a lot of bubbles and it's not making a lot of surface agitation. I don't have enough surface agitation, and what that does is it allows the formation of a really thin film of white protein. It could be protein, it could be bacteria. It's probably just a lot of protein. It's a protein film. You know, honestly, I don't know what it is. It's probably, actually, it might not even be protein, judging by the way that it's reflecting the light when it's there. I don't have it right now because I just turned off. That's my solution right there. See that air stone in the back? So I keep this air stone on, and it actually creates enough surface agitation to negate the failures of this filter. So that's my solution to the film. It might not even be protein because, like I said, judging by the surface, by the way it reflects the light, I would say it's probably some type of lipid, some type of fat, because it's floating on the top and it's not as dense as water and it's reflecting a lot of light. So it could be some type of oil or fat or lipid. All different words for the same thing. And that same thing is called a problem to this aquascape. In about 2 more weeks, I'm going to have the carbon dioxide, the CO2 setup going. The reason why I didn't put that in the first place is because A, I didn't have enough research. I was still doing research on the best system to get, and B, I didn't have enough funds. So let's talk about the good thing about this tank. Anubias is growing amazing, looks amazing. Can't say enough good things about the anubias. The dragonstone, oh my god, it's beautiful. The light doesn't do it justice. The camera doesn't do it justice, but looking at it, I'm so glad I started and I chose dragonstone. It's just so beautiful. Every rock has serious details, intricate details. The Java moss actually stayed in place more than I thought it was going to do because I haven't glued the Java moss in. It's only just been crammed into all the different crevices in the dragonstone. Another good thing about using dragonstone, I guess. I probably showed you guys this earlier, but you could see that the Java moss is bouncing back. There's a lot more green. It used to be all brown, and then it started to turn green in the last week or so. It took about 1.5 weeks, almost 2 weeks for it to get settled, so it's about average. Most people would report about a month or so, and 2 weeks to a month, so I guess I'm on the fast side. Dwarf Hairgrass is doing great, and let's see, my fish is really enjoying it. He's exploring all the time. It's always nice. One of the things is you could see the filter in the back. The hang-on back filter has a lot of stuff, a lot of gunk on the filter, and so I'm gonna have to remove this daily. I haven't done that yet. What else? And oh yeah, what else do I want to see from this tank in the next 2 weeks or so? I expect the Dwarf Hairgrass to start growing a lot more, sending out a lot more runners than it already has. It's gonna be great. I expect the baby tears to sort of bounce back and start to grow a little bit more, especially once I add the carbon dioxide in. I'm gonna start dosing fertilizer, and the way I do fertilizer is I have an F2 medium that I left over from growing a lot of bioluminescent dinoflagellates a couple of years ago, and so I'm just gonna use that first. It is a sort of like a all-in-one complete plant fertilizer, algae microorganism fertilizer. And if you're worried about algae, you can see that I don't really have any algae in this tank. It's good because I have really high light, and so the plants are actually sucking up most of the nutrients. If you want, you can also add a little bit of Alodia. That's the really fast-growing plant that people just float on the top of their water. A lot of people don't like them, but they're really good at sucking up the nutrients, the extra nutrients from the water column, so algae doesn't grow. What else? Okay, I want to add a little bit more plants once this aquascape, this aquarium is getting sort of back to normal, and I want some red in here, so might add a little bit of red in the back here, but bacombas in the back. They're the little frilly looking things. It looks like a foxtail or something, but they're not foxtails. And those come in red and green, so I want to get some of the red ones. I'm not sure, but you can see I actually have a little bit of boost plants here. They're actually not doing really well. They're kind of dying off, so I won't be putting that in the tank anymore. It looks like they're not really suited for the tank, and so that's all about aquascaping, you know. Sometimes some plants grow like crazy, like this hairgrass. And look at all those runners they're sending out even more. And I've actually sort of planted some of the runners. See that guy over there? That's something I planted. It's coming from that mother plant on the left here. But sometimes plants do well, sometimes plants don't do well. Just part of aquascaping, you know. You just gotta make it deal with. You just gotta deal with every single tank as something new, because you know I might not be able to grow this on this tank, but somewhere else, some other tank next to it might just take off. You know, it all depends on your aquarium, your water parameters for that specific tank. And let me know in the comments if you have any more suggestions on plants that you want to see in this tank. I'll be getting some more funds, so I'll be ordering some more plants, as well as the carbon dioxide system. I already know what I'm gonna get. And in the comments, if you have any more suggestions on fish or stocking, plants or anything, just let me know in the comments, yeah. And if you like this video, subscribe, leave a like, and come back with another update for you. I'm gonna go turn on the bubbling for now and just leave it overnight. And thank you guys all very much for watching.